Here it is.
At 9 years old, Jordan should be worried about things like reading and spelling.
I like to color.
Not something as serious as whether she'll go hungry this weekend. Have you ever been hungry on the weekends?
Sometimes. I was pretty hungry since I was living at my grandma's house and she didn't have much money.
Jordan is the face of child hunger in America. She is one of more than 212,000 children in the state of Minnesota who go hungry on weekends when they aren't able to receive food at school. And she's not alone. In the Twin Cities, there are more than 100,000 kids who suffer from food insecurity. These hungry kids are in every school, with the highest numbers in schools like Sheridan Elementary in northeast Minneapolis.
94% of our students are in poverty.
Assistant Principal Wendy Jarson says she first realized just how dire the problem was after discovering kids stealing food from the cafeteria on Fridays.
Kids are stealing food or taking food that they really shouldn't take more. They are only supposed to take one of each thing, and if they're hoarding it, that means they must be hungry at home.
Administrators brought up the problem to Mill City church members who rent the school's auditorium for worship on Sundays.
That just broke our heart, and the principal said, is there anything that the church can do? And our response was simple: if they're stealing food on Friday, how about we just give them food so they can take it home and have something to eat on the weekend?
And that's how the Sheridan Story began. Here's how it works. Churches and community organizations agree to sponsor a school by providing funding and volunteers. The Sheridan Story then works out the logistics, from sourcing and inventory management to packing, storage, and delivery for distribution, which makes it possible for the churches and organizations to then give the food to hungry kids.
And our job tonight is to pack 1,600 meals.
It takes a lot of volunteers to make it all happen.
Wrap it up, tie it, and we'll put it in that black bin. Keep track of how many are in that bin.
On this night, as volunteers pack bags of food for the kids, Jordan and her mother Lisa stop by.
It makes me want to cry.
Lisa is a single mom who often struggles to make ends meet. She says she was moved to tears when she saw all these volunteers. Complete strangers, working so hard out of love for kids like Jordan.
It's so emotional to see so many people caring and putting their heart, their time, their energy into helping others.
And to see that on that mom and daughter's face is just, it's so important. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about families like theirs, feeling like people care and people are on their side and people are saying, you can do this.
On Fridays, while Jordan and the other kids are in class, the Sheridan Story volunteers go down the long list, placing the bags of food in children's backpacks in their lockers.
The children that we're putting the food in these lockers for don't have enough food to sustain them over the weekend. And so I know that keeps me coming back and serving here.
Studies show weekend food programs like this address more than just the issue of physical hunger.
Kids who are hungry have a difficult time learning, paying attention in class, interacting with their peers or the adults at their school.
These volunteers want to help change that. Congregations and other community groups are partnering with schools in a unique way to address a basic human need that will ultimately build a better community for the future.
We're feeding these kids because we love them, because God loves them, and because it breaks God's heart that they're hungry.
The Sheridan Story is standing with our community partners and saying this is not acceptable. Kids in our community, our kids are hungry, and we're going to do something about it.